Hello guys, welcome to our channel. Yeah, today I'm just going to talk about stock market, especially the commodities, the main commodities like natural gas and oil. We know that oil is trading very higher rate these days, almost $82.33, and last 1 month it was. So just to have a look on what's happening in the oil market and what's happening on the natural gas as well. So I want to just give some ideas and buying some tricks and tips, how we can make success in this oil trading. Is Yeah, just have a look on the eToro platform, which I usually trade in that one, and just have a look on what's happening in the oil market and the natural gas as well. Yeah, okay. Oil chart now it's on 82.33. Yeah, that was the last yesterday's range was 82.92, and the 52 weeks range 97.33. I think in 2022 August, August it was 97.33, and yesterday is a Friday, August, uh, third, it was 81.26 open and 82.92 it's closed. So it was a large hike in the oil price since the last 1 month. It's almost 69 to 84. That's a large hike for the oil. And when you see that oil, what is the things which is affecting in the oil price fluctuations, so we can just have a look at there are things like recently the OPEC decisions, that's one of the major thing for this hike in the oil. Also the another thing is that if we consider, you can see the chart again, how it's fluctuating since July. Until July there was $68, then it came to 83. You can see that fluctuation. You see the chart, whenever it's going up there was a slight decline is there. So I think there is a coming day, there is a chance of short sellers can take the market and there is a slight crash can occur. Maybe the market can pull back to 60 or $67, because whenever whenever the oil is let's look at the chart again. What's happening in the oil market last I would say last 1 year. You can just scroll the chart and you can see that how the oil is happened. $120 in June 2022. It's almost like the war in Ukraine started and the oil price was $120. So everybody was thinking that always when 100 and above, that always oil has, there is a higher chance of going back, because the people cannot afford to pay $120 for the oil. So there was a certain intervention. The America have a extreme oil reserve is there, so they can release the oil from the reserve. So they have a reserve. I'm not sure how much reserve they have. Possibly you can. So they release such a oil to the market and they can increase the protection. So that is causing these things actually. So you can see that chart how the prices came down from there to 2023. Now is 69, then is again going up slowly. So there is highly volatile. You see the chart actually how the oil market is. So kind advice at the moment is, if you are just planning to oil at the moment, it's a good chance to selling the oil, short selling, because at the moment you can see the peak levels on last April and again on 2023. So there's a high chance is there at the moment, unless there is something major events occurred in the market. Yeah, so that's my advice actually. Again, you have to watch out for the news like that. Some of the, for example, always news breakups can always trigger the market, then that cause certain hype in the market. So these all things, Saudi Arabia recently planned to reduce the output again. They continue for September as well, so in order to capture the market. So I'm not sure America will do something at the moment. They may do something, otherwise it will cause inflation. One of the major things which was recently causing for the inflation to reduce was their hike the rate of interest, interest rate hike in America, which is caused the, you can see that all the Europe, America, everywhere in Australia they write the interest rate, so that causes the commodity markets to go down, so however at the moment the interest rate is in the peak, so we have to check out what will happen. However, there is a higher chance that the oil can come down at the moment about 75 $72 coming weeks or months. Yeah, so that's advice. Yeah, so that's about oil. Let's have a look on the commodity market. Next one is natural gas. We know that natural gas is used for the daily purpose of our housing, domestic use and industrial use. Natural gas was in the record levels on last year 2022, especially from June to about last October. It was like a $10 worth, a $10 above, so it was a very high price because of the Ukraine-Russia war. So the war was causing a lot of issues. The Russia threatened that they will not supply gas to Europe. Such a panic mode. That panic mode created a lot of issues in the market. You know that the market will react when the panic happens, so the market will trigger the price go up. So that's what happened last year in the natural gas market, and the price went about $9-10. Then last October, afterwards December, January onward, the price slowly went down, went to $3, $4 like that. So it was a very surprise. And another thing was last winter was very mild in the Europe and America, so that was also caused extreme supply, extra supply for them, so that was the one of the another reason that the natural gas was, we heard, price was going down. So let's have a look on the natural gas market currently, what we can do, how we can take profit. Yeah, are in natural gas chart now. Yeah, look at that. Ether in natural gas now is a 2.624, and let's look at the maximum. It was on 9.727, almost about 10, I believe. Last year it was on 1 year chart. You can see that last when the war started, 24th of August, it was like 9.20. That was the higher rate in last year. That was a very high rate that caused a very energy, whole Europe was a panic mode because of this problem. And then it's went down, and since it's the last 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, you can see that it was almost like 2.3 to the maximum. It was on 3 on March. So at the moment it's 1 week, you can see that it's a maximum, that fluctuating in from 2.50 to 2.80. So at the moment there is a good chance the coming months it can go up. The major reason is that there is Europeans are going to fill their reserves before winter, so that's another reason. Actually, again, we don't know how this time the winter will be, so there is a high chance that it's a good chance if you can keep patiently waiting for that, so the price will go up about 3, I'm sure, the coming months. However, we have to keep waiting. That in between you have to face a lot of fluctuations. Any uprise above $3, that's a good chance to sell, because then there is a lot of fluctuations. However, if the winter come months about December, next to December, November, like that, we can see that it will go about $3 to $4 like that, I believe. So meantime, please don't sell it if it is a 2.50. You have to buy when each dip is a more good chance to buy the natural gas, especially in America. Also, this is the time for extreme heat, so that is also causing for extra air conditioning, things like that they're using for gas extra. So these factors also consider. And again, China and India is also one of the major consumers. They are using gas. China's economy is quite weak these times. However, that can also lead to further gain in natural gas, so please be watchful that this week, last week, it was fluctuating between 2.624 like that. So this time I would suggest keep patiently waiting. However, if you get a good chance to sell, to get profit, just sell it. However, anything buying below 2.5, selling below the rate of 2.60 is a little bit risky there, so you have to understand that as well. Let's look at the 52-week range, 2.106 to 9.900. So please be aware about these all things, and thank you, that's the thing. Yeah, thank you for watching this video. Take care, bye.